Hey guys, 21 Maxwell here and welcome to another TEW video with the WWE in 2021. This is our first Smackdown exclusive pay-per-view post Wrestlemania. It is WWE Payback. If you missed Wrestlemania, that was roughly 2 weeks ago, that episode, you can check it back on the playlist. It was an absolutely amazing show, and you can also check out Backlash, as I say, the first Raw pay-per-view. Of course, we had a superstar shake-up in between, so the rosters have changed since beforehand. One other thing I want to quickly cover, we're now a global company. Didn't even do a show that day, but we randomly got the required pop to take the company to a global level. So it's up to us now to maintain that. And yeah, financially we're in a good position. So just keep enjoying the save going forward. So usual shout outs before we start. If you do enjoy it, please hit that like button. As I say, any comments on this series, your own series, wrestling in general, how did you find Money in the Bank? Let me know on that. How do you feel the wrestling industry is going forward? Of course, it's not long, a few months until All In. You get the Jericho Cruise at the end of the year. How do you feel Impact's going? Just let me know how you're feeling about wrestling and TW in general. Of course, check out other YouTubers as well. There'll be a recommended section on my YouTube page as well. But you can also catch a lot of people on the Fantasy Book or subreddit and the Grey Dog software forums. A lot of good written content there. And a lot of good guides on there as well. Mods, etc. You name it, that's there. So with that done now, let's kick on with the show. Managed to get 54,125 in the Milan Puskar Stadium. It's not quite a sellout, but pretty damn close. And we started the show with a pre-show matchup. It was to basically put guys who I didn't really have storylines for at this moment in time in action, an 8-man tag. And it was a pre-show bout that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. It was the babyface team of Rey Mysterio, Akira Tozawa, the Masters of Wrestling, Cesaro and Chris Hero, who defeated Shelton Benjamin, Sheamus, and Bad Influences, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian in 10:27 when Cesaro defeated Frankie Kazarian with Neutralizer. Done its job, a B-75. Rey's carrying a little injury. He had the weakest performance there alongside Sheamus because of the declining physical ability. Brought Sheamus back just as a steady hand to help put people over. Just Shelton with an improvement in skill there. You can see there the few negatives, declining physical ability for some of our elder wrestlers. So we start the show, usual hype video, pyrotechnics, getting people hyped for what is about to come. The main event is not what you see on your screen. The feud is Roman Reigns, Velveteen Dream and Jimmy Uso. But in the build-up in the last couple of weeks on SmackDown Live, Velveteen Dream is injured. So tonight's main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns defends against his cousin, Jimmy Uso, of course with Jay now on the Raw brand. But an A94 is a good way to start the show, and it gets the crowd hotter and improves the storyline to the next segment. We start off with a decent opener, about they had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat, and again shows the depth of their tag division on SmackDown, as the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, defeated the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, in 13:45, when Nick Jackson defeated Scott Dawson with a 450 splash. It does its job, there is a storyline I suppose there, kind of underappreciated, but albeit he's decent, got the crowd hotter, and it gives the Young Bucks some momentum going forward, because they were kind of lost in the shuffle on Raw. Scott Dawson again improving in technical performance, but he is someone who just can't get over, and it's really, really annoying me. I think he's been capped at a certain overness, which unfortunately does happen. Next up, Adam Cole gets a promo against Randy Orton. It's just a case of Randy Orton being better at these up-and-comers that are taking his spot. So at A91, the Evolution storyline advances. Pretty good there. Actually really disappointed. Wow, I didn't expect that. I thought these two would steal the show, and Adam Cole get a good push at it. But a good matchup. Adam Cole picks up the win in 13:46 by flying crossbody. I did limit the match to make it a bit shorter to keep it a bit more realistic, so that makes sense of why it would only be 77. So straight away will be capped by length. But an 85 for Adam Cole and 89 for Orton, who's not suited to his gimmick. Should probably fix that. So if you give me a wee second, I always got a notepad next to me. So Orton gimmick change, so I can change that after the episode. Yeah, overall pretty decent. Cap for short match length, yep, just as I expected. That was always going to be a factor. But yeah, I'll say that feud will probably carry on as we head into the month of May. Adam Cole celebrates after the match, RKO. Nice and simple, keeps the storyline going, builds heat to the storyline. A90, Cole comes out looking excellent, storyline gains heat. Perfect. Absolutely delighted with that. Next up, it's not done as a storyline, but it is booked of two people against each other. Big man against little man. Luchador versus Bully. And about that had great wrestling and good heat. We had Grand Metalik defeat Baron Corbin in 11:53 with a roll up. So obviously you've seen this happen a million times with Rey Mysterio. The Bully beats him up. He gets the win. A B80, again a limited matchup, but no storyline aside it. An 82 performance for Metalik and 92 for Corbin. Both guys improving in performance and flying, respectively. Again, the short match length. So I think if we get a storyline into that, easily I think they could probably maybe get a 90, which would be quite incredible considering the difference in skills. Next up, Neville, a promo on Xavier Woods. He says it's a disgrace that King Neville was not the champion, and that it's Xavier Woods. He said they've chased Chad Gable over to Raw, they've chased Tommaso Ciampa over to Raw, and it's time for him to reclaim his championship and stand on his, or sit on his throne, I should say. Match itself was decent, but didn't have much heat. Did see Xavier Woods retain the championship as well. He defeated Neville and TJP, who took the fall in 11:52, giving Woods his third cruiserweight title defence. TJP the weak link. I just felt like he was the best heel I could put in at that moment in time, due to where I positioned everyone else. I still feel weird with the cruiserweights because, like, if it's on Smackdown and you move King Neville up to the heavyweight divisions, like, kind of devalues the cruiserweight championship. But I do think not just a babyface turn on the horizon, but a good push for Neville as well. He had the best performance, but it's helping getting Woods over as he's having a good run as the cruiserweight champ. Next up, decent matchup. This is our storytelling match. AJ Styles defeats Braun Strowman in 7-11 by countout. B77, Braun with better performance over AJ. Braun's getting stale, so let's note that down as well. Now the issue here, I wanted Braun to go over, but AJ is far over and wouldn't job to Braun. But I feel like with AJ's physical decline, if I keep jobbing him out too quickly, he's going to be useless in the future. So I just still want to use him while we've still got that overness on him, because that allows good promos and the like and good angles going forward. So I like my count out here. As you can see from our road agent notes, just a count out storytelling win. So I'll keep Braun Strowman looking good. No negatives there for him. You can see both guys holding back. Will always take a bit out of the rating, but we need one of these matches every show anyway. But decent. It's not been a great pay-per-view so far, but I don't mind not being all A pluses and etc. and A's, as long as that comes at the end of the show and the rest of the guys benefit with getting good overness. I'm happy. Braun Strowman then attacks AJ, puts him through a table. Frustrated he's been counted out and just beats the shit out of AJ Styles. Storyline advances, gains heat. AJ comes across well. You get yourself an A segment there with that B+. So overall, we'll see what we can build with them going forward. Next up, we've got Kofi Kingston, who is hyping up his match with Rusev for the US Championship. The Rusev Day storyline advances. It's just Kofi being bitter as he has been ever since he lost the World Heavyweight title to Roman Reigns, and he says he's going to capture this belt and put an end to that horrible holiday that is Rusev Day. Match itself, again, could have been a bit better. Not amazing. Let's see why this flopped massively. Again, it's because I've limited the time on it. Again, try to keep it a bit more realistic than every match being 20 minutes, which isn't going to happen in real life. A good matchup sees Rusev defeat Kofi in 13:36 with the accolade, and he makes his first defence of the US title. Simple, you don't want to take the title off Rusev so far. Got to keep him strong as he moves to the Smackdown brand. What's pleasing to see is both guys have good chemistry. Judging by Kofi only get a 78 and the good chemistry, it does seem like he's taking a massive hit in overness, and the physical decline in him is really starting to take a toll as well. So good that we got the World Championship on him quickly. You can see there both men with inconsistencies, the decline in physical ability, which is happening to a lot of my top guys. So I'm having to phase them down, like Styles, Kofi, Cena. Probably going to happen to Orton soon, so I'm going to have to phase these guys out and bring up the next generation. But You've got the Shield, so they're fine just now. They're usually your main guys. And of course, the Velveteen Dream. So B82 does a job. It's your standard match rating. Next up, and about that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, we had Zack Sabre Jr. defeat Ricochet in 14-10 by submission with a senior stretch. Same idea, lesser time scale. Storyline's just really getting started. Ricochet got an upset win in a match, so Sabre Jr. wants his revenge. B81, two decent performances, as we'll try and hopefully build Ricochet up over time and probably try and push him into that main event scene, because he's kind of been staggering on the Smackdown brand, and I didn't quite want to move him to Monday Night Raw. It also highlights as well how many matches we've got in the show, considering we're still a wee bit to go. And as I say, we're just getting started. So this one I'm looking forward to. It's just basically being your clean-cut babyface Johnny Gargano, your arrogant heel who's raging that he's have to leave Raw, and he's just basically trying to take this place over his own. Of course, Fergal Devitt, if you remember, or wonder why is Fergal Devitt and not Finn Balor in the save. He was under a scandal, so he came back after the scandal and said he wanted nothing to do with the Finn Balor name. That was cursed, etc. He's doing it under his own name, and he's proven how good he is. So B plus 88. Wonder how this match will go, because Gargano's not the most over, but the match could be fucking awesome, so let's see. I'm quite happy with that. I was kind of hoping maybe brush into the 90s, but good matchup. And Fergal gets the win over Gargano in 20 minutes and 8 seconds, with Shingata's Prince's Throne. Gargano's off his game, so you maybe think that could push to 90, maybe a 91. Overall, a good matchup. I was hoping that would help both guys. Only negatives, Gargano's inconsistency. Simple way to book these matches. I did keep it open to protect Johnny. Always just make them scripted, and I'd even make this one slow build, so we could have maybe gained a few more points. I just thought these two guys, both unbelievable wrestlers, two of my favourites in real life at this moment in time. Yeah, good stuff. Then we've got a promo. It is, of course, the tag team champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Babyfaces in this, against two wrestlers that believe they're really underappreciated, and that is, of course, Carl Anderson and Murphy. Ever since I put those two together, and put them with Sami and Kevin, it's just been spectacular. So, could just say best kept secret with the most one of the most underappreciated talents at the moment in WWE, but the two of them together has been absolutely amazing. I'm hoping they do deliver here, giving them such a big spotlight as the co-main event for this event. They've had better matches, admittedly, but I am still delighted with that. It was about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeat Carl Anderson and Murphy in 25-14 when Sami defeated Carl with the Huluva kick. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn make the 17th defence of the WWE Tag Team titles, so keeping it as a long ass title run. There was a time I was going to put it on Murphy and Carl Anderson, but Owens and Zayn were unhappy to drop it, so I felt like I'll keep it off them just now. We'll keep it on the champs, because realistically you could bring in the Young Bucks, the Revival, and we could have some really kick-ass feuds. The inevitable will happen. Kevin Owens v Sami Zayn will happen at one point, but build it up. I've not really had them feuds. I think it's probably the first year, so probably 2016. So probably 5 years in game since they've properly feuded, but names of teams just fantastic. Anderson win 80, Murphy with 75. We're still building him up gradually. Storyline gains heat. Negatives. In fact, the low heat, because I've linked in the Revival and the Young Bucks, because they're going to face each other going forward. So you could have been looking at about 92, 93. I'm pretty sure they've been involved in 97 before. Main event, Jim Uso just says it's his time to become champion. Let's just quickly note down that he needs a gimmick change as well. So that's Jim Uso. A94, he says he's proved he's the best Uso. His brother's gone, and it's his time to become the world heavyweight champion. Just a note, I've never had Roman face Jimmy, so this could flop massively. I don't know. I'm done. Wow. Holy cow. It's always good when you've never had two guys square off against each other. They do, and they knock it out of the park. So, absolutely delighted to say, in a superb matchup, Roman Reigns does defeat Jimmy Uso. Again, I was tempted to put the title on Uso, but For reasons why I didn't, I'll explain in the next angle. But Roman defeats Jimmy in 21:58 by pinfall. Roman makes the third defence of the World Heavyweight Championship. A-Star 99, just a wee bit off that 100 match. So we could have had back-to-back 100s on the Smackdown brand. Sorry, I don't know if it was Raw that had it effectively, but it was a Smackdown member at Wrestlemania. 95 for Roman, 88 Jimmy. Storyline gains a bit of heat and advances. Negative, just Roman's inconsistency. The usual, just booking at a slow pace and giving them time to build up an excellent story in the match. So why didn't we give the title to Jimmy? After the matchup, Velveteen Dream comes in and boots the crap at Roman Reigns, showing that he wants to become the champion. Roman Reigns ruined his WrestleMania moment, and it's going to be only a matter of time before that title belt is his. So over that segment, deserved better announced in colour commentary, so not the best from Michael Cole, Nigel McGuinness and The Undertaker. Both guys come out looking excellent, and the storyline advances, losing a little bit of heat, but still absolutely solid. What I was going to do was, the plan was Jimmy Uso to win via distraction from Velveteen Dream. Because he's injured, he can't even do a run-in. The best I can do is an angle after the match. He can take part in that. So it's still another week before he's back from injury, but gives me something to book towards in May. So in the show, A-Star 95, that only increased their popularity in 21 regions on the WWE networks. That was globally everywhere, so it just shows how good a show we need to get before we can gain some pop now. But overall, absolutely delighted. As I say, as long as the main match is delivered, fairly happy. But the lowest segment was the pre-show at 75, after that 77, so I think we can be really happy with the show. And it just shows me people that Orton and Cole at the start of the show. It's a hell of a stacked roster, probably too stacked, but that is the reason we have 3 brands. So I think we'll go Roman, and I think we'll go Jimmy Uso, not Jimmy Jacobs, Star Road Agent, and I think we'll go Carol Anderson. We'll compliment them. I just go for the simple compliment. I don't want to, piss people off or anything. I just make sure everything's fine. So Roman's pleased, Jimmy's pleased, Carol Anderson's pleased, and we'll let it sim for just a wee second. The difference between this and a new mod is unbelievable once you're so far in. And now we're in the month of May. As Hornswoggle props up the corner there. I wonder if that's happened quite often. I've just never noticed Hornswoggle because he's always been kind of stuck in that wee corner. So here we go, let's have a look. Finished the run in Televista. Televista had no desire to renew with us because we'd lost our Smackdown deal with them. So I just don't think we're going to run in Mexico for Raw, which is a shame, but as I say, I predominantly run the show anyway in the UK, the US or Canada. If we don't get any exposure in there, it's cool. I can deal with that. World Pro Wrestling expands and finishes run. That's cool. Cool. Anything else that really affects us? No, to be honest. Still try to just renew Samojo's contracts. That's cool. So, national battles. Finished first in the US, first in Canada, first in Japan. Perfect. Naito is here on a permanent deal. I don't know if he's going to Raw or SmackDown. I would ask the viewers to comment, but as I say, the chances are I'll probably be 2-3 pay-per-views ahead by the time this goes live, because in the zone, so I can book quite fast. Nicole Matthews is probably leaving. Yamato I haven't signed up. Oh, we did get somewhere. We're on Azteca 7, so it's not as big as Televista, I believe, but it's still some exposure in Mexico. Drug test 5k, a 44.80 for the network, so that's pretty okay. AJ Styles, you like what you hear from Murphy. Velveteen Dream thinks Carol Anderson doesn't connect with the fans, and it just shows how over Velveteen is. He's giving opinions on others. So overall, £16 million profit, which is pretty good because I did use a lot of money making sure we had all the best morals in the world. So I'll probably spend about 100 grand just making sure Matt Jackson, Alistair Black and Chris Hero are happy. But yeah, you can see they're a global company first, Prestige 100, Momentum 100. The company's as big as I'm going to get it. So it's really just a case of continuing the storylines, making sure everything goes off pretty well, even looking to build to the future. So we didn't make anywhere near as much pay-per-view revenue from the obviously one event on pay-per-view, one not. But 2 shows gives you obviously nearly 9 million. TV revenue is good, sponsors are good. I think where we really, there you go, show costs 13 million because of last month's Wrestlemania, compare it to that. But overall, pretty happy. You can see them miscellaneous, nearly 12 million. Whoops. But when you've got nearly 700 million in the bank, it's quite easy to just spend all the money and keep morale happy. But things are good. Creative meeting. 5 main guys are Ambrose, Reigns, Orton, Devitt, and Seth Rollins. And going forward, if I just quickly check medical, just to see who's injured, we've got Jack Gallagher back in 4 months, Mark Coffey back in 16 days, Joe's back in 18, and the Velveteen Dream is back in 8, Rey Mysterio back in 1. Naito will probably just do a hype angle on Raw and build him up, or Smackdown, wherever it depends where he goes. Women's division is pretty badly hit at the moment in time. We've lost Ali and we've lost Dana Brooke to pregnancies, to maternity leave. Dana a massive loss because of how over she is. Ronda will be back in 34 days before inevitably she ends up in rehab again, which is just the way she is in this mod. It's cool, it's understandable. Chelsea Green was picking a fight, so she got suspended. There's been a few questions asking, of course, when we'll fit in a women's show for a pay-per-view. The way I've got it scheduled, Extreme Rules and Judgment Day are coming up. I think I'm either going to put one in for the first week of June, or I'll leave it until the 4th week of July, because obviously the Mixed Match Challenge will see our female athletes represented in that kind of tournament as well as a new champion, because last year's was Dana Brooke and The Miz. So what I'll do, I don't think I'll be anywhere near that date by the time this video goes live. So if any of you guys think when would best suit for a women's show on pay-per-view, and what you think it should be called, because I really don't have a clue what to call it, well, put those suggestions in the comment section below and I'll take them all under review. As far as I'm aware, at this time of recording as well, I'll just quickly add, I'm hoping to stream on Twitch every so often. It won't be every day, but maybe be every 3-4 days. We'll be sitting doing a TNA save based on Impact save. That's the one, the vote we had. So we'll be looking to do that. Not keeping it realistic, just signing whoever just to see how quickly we can grab TNA up. So if that does interest you, it's twitch.tv/21maxwell. If you hit the follow button on that, you get notifications anytime I go live. Also, for a better idea of times as well, you can follow us on Twitter at 21maxwell. I usually will tweet out when I will be going live and when videos are out. But as always, cheers for watching, it's deeply appreciated. Thank you for spending your time watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next time for the Raw brand. Not really going extreme because I don't do gimmick matches. Hopefully, see Extreme Rules. Bye bye.